Example 1, drawing a histogram of discrete data. I want to construct a frequency histogram for the frequency table below. This frequency table summarizes the data for the number of customers who arrive at Wendy's for 40 randomly selected 15-minute intervals of time during lunch. Now the value of each category of data, the number of customers, is on the horizontal axis, and the frequency is on the vertical axis. We draw rectangles of equal width, centered at the value of each category. So for example, the first rectangle is going to be centered at 1. So for the frequency histogram, the height of the rectangle is the frequency of that category. Now remember that in a histogram, the rectangles touch. So here's the data, the number of arrivals at Wendy's. And then here is the frequency distribution. Here's the number of customers, there's your tallies, and there's a frequency. So for the first one, we can see that the number of customers is 1. So down here, again, look at your graph that's going to be a histogram. You have a number of customers down here going from 1 to 11, and then the frequency is going to go from 0 to 12. So you can see here that these numbers go as low as 0 all the way up to close to 12. And then you title it Arrival at Wendy's. So for the first one, number of customers is 1, and therefore the frequency is 1. So since it goes from 0 to 2, that means I'm going to have sort of a rectangle get approximately up here at the value of 1. Okay, now the next one is 2. Now 2, again, has to be in the middle. It has a frequency of 6. So remember that the rectangles are supposed to touch. So we're going to come up here to 6. And then we're going to come back down and then create our rectangle there at 2 in the middle. The next one is 3, and 3 has a 1, so therefore we're going to draw our rectangle there, and therefore we have 1 for 3. And then for 4, it's going to go all the way up to 4, so we're going to draw this all the way up to 4. Okay, and then for 5, it goes all the way up to 7. So again, we're going to go all the way up to 7, so it's in between 6 and 8. And then for 6, we're going to go all the way up to 11. So start up here, go to 11. Okay, and then for 7, it's going to go to 5. For 8, it's going to go to 2. And for 9, it is also 2. For 10, we have 0, so we're going to draw a line there. And then for 11, we have 1. I might have got a little too higher there, so let me go ahead and change that a little bit to make sure it's in between there. And there is 1. Now, normally what you would want to do is you'd want to come in here and then just kind of, fill in and shade in your information. So, we would shade in and create our histogram. And therefore, you will see that that represents our histogram. And again, like we said, the rectangles must touch. Now, a bar graph is where the rectangles do not touch. So this, again, is considered your histogram for the arrival of Wendy's. Now, again, this is called a frequency histogram because we use the frequencies to get that